Stop drinking the corporate Kool-Aid. No more.
I always have people ask me about my resignation and what they should say. I'm going to read you my resignation just so you know, like, how unprofessional I probably am. Here it goes. To whom it may concern, please accept this letter as notification that I am resigning from my position with on February 18th, I apologize for not being able to provide 2 weeks' notice. However, I regret that, due to circumstances beyond my control, I need to resign immediately. Please forward my last paycheck to my home address. Thank you for the support that you have provided me during my tenure with the company. Sincerely. So that's how professional I was, and I sent that in an email, and I never got a response, but I did get my last paycheck, so I assume they got the message. But that's all that I put in there. But I did have proof, and it was written, and I did email it. So like I said, there was a method to my madness, and even from the day that I was like quitting to the time that I quit. So I hope to inspire you to go ahead and send your resignation in. If you need help writing it, let me know and I'll help you. I wish that I would have known all of these things and more. I was ready to be out of my job, but I did have a plan and a goal. I want to make sure that you're prepared to take advantage of opportunities now before you make this transition. Mark your calendar, plan, and act on it. In reality, you should be planning this 6 months out. Know your rights and benefits. You're going to want to think about bonuses you were given once you either started in your position or something that maybe you're due to receive at the end of the year. Also, your 401k. You're going to need to roll this into another type of investment once you separate. There's some reasons behind that, which I'll talk to you more about in my guide. Taxes can have an implication on you if you've received any type of employee stock. And vacation time. People don't think about this a lot, but you're owed vacation time. If you've earned it and you decide to separate, they still have to pay you in some cases. I can walk you through that a little bit more. Make sure you get my checklist, and that's going to help you go through this. You're going to know exactly what to download and look for. Another big tip, locate and download your employee benefits guide. And don't be afraid to call HR. The hotline's there to help answer questions for you as an employee, and a lot of times you can find out everything you need to know about your 401k. You can get attorneys for certain things that you're going through in your life, like family transition, as well as nursing care and daycare. There's childcare services, and also some things people don't think about is that your jobs will pay for certificates and schooling. So if there's something that you're looking into as an entrepreneur or someone that's getting ready to leave, I would go ahead and think about some of those things. Keep in mind that you may have to pay some of that back, but it's something to look into if they're going to pay for it and pay for you to go to school. If you're not sure when you're going to make that transition, I'd at least go ahead and take advantage of those things while you can. Go to the doctor and refill your prescriptions. Insurance is going to be a thing of the past once you separate from your employer, so you need to start thinking about that now. There's options out there. There's something, it used to be called Cobra. I'm not sure if they refer to it the same now, but it is an extended plan that you can kind of take with you once you leave. It's really expensive. I wouldn't suggest it. I would just go ahead and plan that they're going to cancel your insurance. So to all your doctor's appointments, get your prescriptions refilled, and start thinking about all the what ifs. Remember, worst case scenario, if you had something happen, a hospital has to take you. So you can go to a hospital and get treatment. You can figure the rest out later, but don't be concerned with insurance. Just know that you're not going to have it. Go ahead and prepare for that now. And if you talk to your doctors, a lot of times they'll give you your prescriptions 60, 90 days out. It just depends. And you can even tell them that you're going out of the country or that you're going to be gone for a really long time. You're not going to be able to come back to visit them. It just depends on what insurance covers and how the doctor themselves are. So just make sure you let them know what's up and ask them. Have an emergency fund in place and a budget. You're going to want to prepare for any large expenses and any needed credit. Also, make sure that you're planning 6 months out for your expenses when you're budgeting. I would say multiply that by 2 to 3 times, but 6 months minimum. Start eliminating expenses. Whenever you get ready to quit your job, one of the first things that you're gonna wanna do is cut back. I started this probably 6 months before. I go through, figure out what your necessities are. Remember that you need to start downgrading things that you don't need, like your cable bill and eating out. All those little things add up. So make sure to cut those out and have a budget. Start selling all the things that you don't use or need. You can flip those and get some extra cash to start adding to your budget. So you're going to have that to propel you a little bit further in your entrepreneurial career. Whenever you quit, you're going to want to have that extra cash. Leave on good terms and document everything. Whenever I got ready to leave, there were certain people that I told and certain people that I didn't tell. You want to be careful who you tell in corporate America because you don't know who's your friend and who's not until the ball starts rolling. Trust me. Document everything. I'm sharing tips in my guide for the things that you need to document. So if you're worried about what you need, download my Corporate Kool-Aid Detox Checklist. I've got you covered. Think before you act and don't get caught red-handed. While you're making this transition from corporate America, I've got you covered. I've been there, I've done it, and I can show you how.
I never thought that I would be using my degree in finance for filming and making videos. It was 8 years ago that I decided to take a leap of faith and quit my job to start a business, but it took me 6 months to prepare for my departure, and RV living wasn't even on my radar. So I don't know if I've ever shown this on this channel, and just in case you're wondering why this is all weird behind the scenes, we just refinished this entire penthouse. I gave you a pre-tour that I'll drop a link to below this video, so when you're like, oh, where's Brandi at when she's not in her RV? This could be one of those places. I'm gonna see if the sun's not too bright that I can show this to you. But actually it's really bright right there, but let's see if we can see this. There's a place that I used to work over here in finance. So before I started RVing, I was using my finance degree to to do finance. So if you see, this is Buckhead. So I've shown this before in another, do you see this little building right here with that little moonie on it? That little half moon, whoops, half moon right there. That one. I used to work there, and then I used to live, I've lived in a lot of these buildings, but I used to work in this building too. This is called the Terminus building. I'm trying to get to a good spot. I used to live in this building, and I would walk over to this little half moon, and then I would walk back home and go to my house. And so, if you don't know my story, then I'll drop it in the link below, but that was my life before I ended up over here and ended up in an RV. That was 8 years ago that I put in my resignation, and I sent my boss an email and I said, peace out. I'm not working there anymore. But getting back to what I was telling you, 8 years ago, I took a leap of faith and I said, hey, I want out of this place. All I cared about at the time, like I said, RV living wasn't on my radar. All I cared about at the time was starting a business, making my own schedule, building an empire, and making productive use of my time, because in this job that I had, it wasn't really fulfilling. I just remember going into this job and having this kind of like painted smile on my face, like, hey, yeah, I'm here to do a job, okay. But I hated it. All I cared about was starting a business, and I can't tell you how scared I was to jump in to not only becoming an entrepreneur, but also an RVer. Okay, so it may not look like it right now, but I felt like there's no better time to kind of share behind the scenes with you than this special event.
I remember it was so scary whenever I made my transition, but there's so many things that I wish I would have known that I've put in my free guide, the Corporate Kool-Aid Detox Checklist. Download your free guide below. Stop drinking the corporate Kool-Aid. No more.